Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first live stream of the Rugged Retiree. We'll call it the Campfire Sit Down Chat. And this is my very first stream, so bear with me as we go through the motions here. And I can actually see the goings on my screen here now. There's no way set up for YouTube to actually practice this, so what you see is what you get, I guess. So anyways, I just wanted to put it out there that I wanted to provide an avenue to interact with the subscribers and even those people that are just maybe thinking about subscribing and wondering what the channel's about, and gives an opportunity to kind of sit down and hash things out a little bit and get familiar with and comfortable with each other. You might get to know me a little bit more outside of the adventure things that we do. So I've got some new equipment here. This is why I decided to do live streams, and it's kind of funny actually. I actually went back to work for a couple of weeks. I found an ad in the paper for a local pulp mill down the road, and decided to go back there. And the coolest thing was I ran into, or my crew was four other retirees. So how great of a thing was that? So just shout out to Rob, Ed, Gary, and Kemper. It was just an absolute blast working with them. We clicked right away. By the end of the 2 weeks, there was quite a bit of camaraderie, and it was pretty funny actually. And my next video that I'm going to record next week, God willing, I'm going to go to Gary's house, and we're going to see what Gary's been up to for the last while, and learn more about him and his story. So, it's always a welcome thing to see what other people are doing. So we're gonna go down that path. Um, I guess we'll just kind of start off with what I was kind of envisioning for this particular episode here. I hope the sound is good. Don't think I have anybody online, so I can't really bounce back. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hello, Jamie, you're number one. Thank you. That's my sister, by the way. And thanks, Christie, for signing in here. Is the sound good? Can you tell me if the sound is okay? Anyways, we are going to talk a little bit about redefining yourself. And um, for me, this realization kind of happened when I was driving to work one day. You're stuck in traffic after many, 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 many long, repetitive days stuck in traffic, and hate being on the road instead of being with your family or going fishing or doing all the things that you want to do. And I had a conscious realization that this is going to be my life here for the next 40, 30, 20 years, right? And when you have that realization, you kind of go through a bit of a shift. And for me, that shift was, man, I really don't want to go through this. And the only way to get through it is actually to bide my time, doing it, making that drive to work, in and out. So you learn to just buckle down and get used to it. We've all done that, and you learn to tolerate the drive, tolerate the work, maybe tolerate your bosses. I actually enjoyed doing what I did. I had decent bosses and excellent coworkers. I enjoyed the camaraderie. We had a really good time at work, actually. Even in the face of doing um, hard work at times. So I'm a tradesperson, millwright. I've worked in industrial environment here for over 30 years, and that's just that was my life at work, doing welding as well, and that's what it was. So I'd like to also keep in mind, and I'm always kind of conscious of this. There's a lot of us that have been doing this grind seemingly forever, and there's a group of us that don't actually make it home. And so we've gotten hurt on the job, we've had injuries, and in some cases, we didn't come home at all. So, that's pretty sad. And we did all these tasks for companies that would have us replaced before the obituary hit the paper. That's just the reality of it. Yet we still strive for excellence in our professions because as people, that's what we do. We just naturally want to do a good job. Um, so after all of this time, our very existence became about the job. It became about your role or function at work, whether you enjoyed it or not. Your identities formed, shaped, and it was more molded by what you did, not by who you were. Uh, it's not a wonder that after all these decades of conditioning, we've managed to lose ourselves and lost our ambition to explore and try new things. We've become comfortable and stagnant in our roles and have become a little bit fearful of doing anything different. So, when I say it's time to reinvent ourselves as retirees and soon to be retirees, I mean let's throw those guys in there. The guys that are in their 50s, you're 55, maybe you're 60, you're just kind of thinking about retirement. It's time to get your head wrapped around retirement. Looking back at one of my previous episodes, uh, like I talked at the camp about the one guy that I met there. He wasn't really ready for retirement, and he retired for a couple years, and then he jumped out and went back to work for 3 years. But the second go around, he was ready. He knew what to expect. He had his mind wrapped around what a retirement looked like and what it was. So uh, it was more enjoyable for him the second time around. And you know what? Maybe that's what we do. Um, I'd actually just did the shutdown with the four other guys, and it was not necessarily for going back to work per se, but obviously I need to buy some equipment for the channel and whatnot, and I just went back to raise some funds for that as well. So now that we're there, we can continue concentrating on the channel and interacting with you guys. And what I'd really like to do is I want to help you to discover your true self, as well as find purpose again in your everyday journey, your everyday life, and learn how to seek it out, like how to come up with those strategies to make life interesting again. I know there's a bunch of people that have been kind of sitting around on the couch and whatnot, but you know what? There's ways to combat that and to make living more useful, and that's kind of what I'm hoping to accomplish here. So I'd like to use this YouTube space together to share with each other and encourage each other, and to share our adventures and give each other ideas and how we can grow and develop together. I'm just the coordinator in all this. I need you in order for this to work. So please join me every Thursday. Well, I'm gonna try to do it every Thursday at 1 o'clock. Like it just seems like this whole YouTube journey is one learning after another. So trying to figure out when my audience is actually online, and that's from the West Coast to the East Coast. So time differences are all part of the equation. My thoughts are Thursdays. Hey, retirees are around because and maybe you're out doing family stuff or whatever on the weekend. So I don't want to interfere with that. So I'm trying to find out what's going to work. I might be on the road at some of these times as well. So I'm going to do my best to kind of coordinate some times around my journeys as well and my adventures. I'm not always in cell service, so just going to have to give that a little bit of thought going forward. So let's do that. Let's see here. I'm hoping to give everybody a little bit of homework every week to work towards the goal of redefining yourself in retirement. So little bits, little tidbits of projects to do. Nothing harder, uh, I don't know, mind blowing type of things. The things that I'm going to ask you are going to be very simple. Um, if I get stuck on certain things, I'll probably just ask my wife because she's a psychologist, and hey, we talk very well. So might as well seek some input from her as well, and we'll probably have her as a guest at some point down the road. And I see we got two people on. This is a world record. It's literally a world record for um, uh, people logging on here and being the first one. So that's awesome. So this week's homework will be for you to remember what it was that you wanted to do when you didn't have the time. Okay, that's it. So the homework for this week will be for you to remember what it was that you wanted to do when you didn't have time. And it could be anything. I actually met a guy up on the trail up here, and I got to start carrying my GoPro with me on, even my little walks that we go behind the house here. Because this guy, his name was Brandon, and he was actually out there with a butterfly net. And it was like, hey, what are you catching today? Right? Just start the conversation. This guy, I guess he was probably in his late 30s, early 40s, and he knew the subject of butterflies like I've never heard anybody talk about. And so we're asking questions and whatnot. And he was excited to actually share all the knowledge that he had on the subject. And he was catching these butterflies, had them in his little container there. And so what he was doing, he was actually taking photos of them and releasing the butterflies as he's going throughout the day. But looking in my own backyard, I had no idea that there was like 50 different types of butterflies, and quite frankly, they all look the same. They were just yellow with some black on it. But when you look up close, they've got different spots and patterns and all this. And man, he knew the females from the males and all that stuff. It's just like I guess one of my cousin's daughters, Madison, she's got her, theology all down about insects and whatnot, and she's done very well for herself. So this guy's like on that level, and I went out and I told him, I said, hey, geez, buddy, you should be doing some tours here. You're so good at the subject. You really know your stuff, right? And he said, yeah, maybe I should. And so, it kind of kickstarted a little bit of intrigue as something that he could do to share his interests. It's the same thing as what I'm doing for, the retirees here. I just want to, invoke a little bit of interest and get the ball rolling here. So, anyways, this has been going for 13 minutes already. Holy smokes, that's quick. Geez, do I really talk that much? I guess I talk that much. I want you to tune in next Thursday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. We're going to do it the same place, the same time, and be prepared to share with us what it was that you wanted to do before you had no time. And for those that are watching the video, after the chat, you can still comment on the video, participate, and I'd really appreciate that. Like and whatever for the video. If you're finding the channel and myself motivating or encouraging, share it with your friends. And if you think that this would benefit, if you think that they'd benefit from being here, thanks for joining me. And all of us in this chat, we had a record of two people on. It's awesome. And I look forward to hearing you from next week. Until the next one. Okay, Christie. Thanks for joining me. Really appreciate that. I actually had three. I had three, two blipped off. That's awesome. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you later.